Hey everybody, and we are live.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, here we are live from the Dating God's Way Studios, Vision Impact Studios.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on. Tonight is going to be a fun night. A fun night. Amen. So tonight you will be able to ask us any questions that you may have. Um, it could be questions from previous episodes of Dating God's Way or new questions. Hey, hey Michelle, hey
Hey,
daughter,
guys. Hey.
thank you for joining us.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, y'all come on in here. Come on in here. Hey, brother Chip on the stream. I see you, Tiana. I see you on the stream. Y'all come on in here. Yeah, it's going to be a fun night tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Our late night edition. Hey, hey. Woo, woo.
How they say it, dating God's way after dark.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh. Um, so while we're getting started, let me tell y'all about Vision Hybrid Learning Center, a place where fifth through 12th graders can come for their continual education, for their remote learning needs. So if your child's school is doing remote learning this year, they can come to Vision Hybrid Learning Center at 4520 Beach Road in Temple Hills, Maryland. They will be able to access the internet. We have monitors there that will assist your child in their schoolwork, assist your child with staying engaged in their online learning experience. And you as the parent, you don't have to do a thing but drop your child off. Your child will be in safe hands in a COVID safe environment. We are following CDC guidelines. They will have masks on and other things, but um, drop your child off here at Vision Hybrid Learning Center. Mom Vanessa, hey, good to
California
see
in the house.
you. Evening. Yeah, so come bring your child to Vision Hybrid Learning Center. Seats are filling up, so please enroll your child today.
Hey.
And you can come on you can come on our Facebook site, and pretty soon, sometime tonight, we're going to get all the BNS kinks worked out where our website will be online live, and you will be able to access it
Woo.
at www.visionhybridcenter.org. So, yes. So join us. Keep refreshing the page. It's going to be up tonight. We promise. We promise. So yeah. So amen. So let's get into it, Pastor E. Let's talk about dating God's way. Open mic night. Open
Yes.
mic
Yes.
night.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm posting here. If you can post your questions in the comments, or you can come on stream with us, and we can have a live discussion about whatever you want to talk about.
Yes. As many questions as you want tonight. It's open mic.
You can be married. You can be a married couple. You can be
Yes.
single or
Yep.
unmarried. Whatever your status doesn't matter. Your status
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Your relationship status doesn't matter. So yeah, so join us online. But Pastor E, while we're waiting for questions and different things, I thought about okay, let's talk about credit scores being spiritual. Let's talk about credit score. Let's talk about credit scores being spiritual. Now, Pastor E, for me, credit scores or your credit history indicates a behavior. It indicates a behavior. How you pay your bills indicates how you behave throughout your life, right? And so when we talk about credit scores, it's not per se credit scores, because credit scores are somewhat relational, right? If you don't have no credit, then you can have a low credit score because you don't have nothing to score, right? So it's not about the credit score, but it's about what is your credit history. Are you delinquent all the time? You know, do you post more than 3 delinquencies? So this means that this could mean that you are a person, evangelist of Rashida. Good to see you this evening. But your credit score is, you know, if you have a big behavior of delaying things, then usually in life, if you look at yourself when it comes to critical situations, you probably tend to do just as your credit behavior say you do. You put things off.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, you probably don't pay them until somebody come after you, like the debt collector or whatever. So your credit behavior kind of is an indicator of your behavior.
What I hear you saying, Pastor Will, is it reveals patterns. Okay. And so credit scoring, what he's talking about tonight, reveals a pattern, behavioral patterns that we must monitor, watch out, and look out for.
Yeah.
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 That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Dating God's way. Yeah, so it's open mic night tonight. I did get a question, but I was trying to wait to give you guys a chance to give us some questions. One of the questions that I did receive, Pastor Will, someone in I think we answered this question before. Yes. I think we answered this question before, but how do you know? The question I got was, how do you know when someone is the one?
Woo, yeah.
How do you know when someone is the one?
Because you get a bubbly feeling all inside, and then that they must be you get the bubbly feeling.
Start bubbling up.
You start bubbling up. Because he or she make you smile all the time. So you know that's the one. No, that doesn't mean that there's one. That doesn't mean. Go ahead, Pastor E.
You say, look, you say it. Okay. And so, you know, I think that this is an interesting question because there is the phenomenon of you know, soulmate or finding the one. Okay. And so, you know, I think that this question starts to speak to, you know, this idea that there can only be one.
Oh.
I think it speaks to the question. It's getting late, y'all, so y'all know Pastor Will. The question of, can there only be one? So I think we should break this question down a little bit.
Okay.
What do you think, Pastor Will? Can there only be one?
Could there only be one?
So one person in the millions of people in the whole world. Billion.
Yeah. Yeah. So
sorry, I got a glitch.
Yeah. So there could be many. There literally could be many. Like, you know, there are a ton of males and a ton of females that are what you would consider your camera glitching a lot.
I know, it's been doing that for work too.
Oh my goodness.
You keep going past him.
But there is a ton of males or females that are how can we say marriage material, right? They're responsible. Going back to our last question, they pay their bills on time. They will make great dads, or they will make great moms. They're very respectful. They're loving, and they have all of the qualifications. They have all of the qualifications. But now, how do you know when it's there you are? But how do you know when it's the one for you, right? Out of all of these qualifications, how do you know that, okay, this is the one that God has for me? Well, being that this is dating God's way, God's way said that there is, in dating God's way, you know that there is an internal peace about it.
Yeah.
Right. It's not hard to when you have an internal peace, when you are questioned, and you should be questioned about who you choose. That, Pastor, you want to come in here with me? Okay. And when when there is questions, and like I said, and there should be questions, you have an internal peace, and you have no problem defending who you are marrying. You have no problem defending what your choice is or who your choice is. So that's how I believe that when it's the one, because there is just an internal peace that you have. There's an internal resolve that you have when that one is about. What you think about that, Pastor?
I think that's good. And I think also there is a conversation that you have with God. There's a conversation that you have with God about the potential, right? Going from a stage of friend to more than friend is a conversation that is had with God. I do not believe that there is only one person in the entire world. But I do believe that there is a conversation that we have with God that allows us to get insight and wisdom on, this potential that could become the one.
Yeah. When I can say this, Pastor, when I met you, I did not have to change anything about me to unite with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when I dated others, I found myself having to change to keep people around or to keep her around, right? Or the hers to keep them around.
Yeah.
Right. And so those relationships, they didn't last long because at some point I was going to not get upset, but I was going to get tired of keep changing over and over again.
Yeah.
And so I believe that when you do find the one, or when you do have the one, that the one you have accepts you for who you are.
Yes.
The flaws,
yeah,
the perfections, the imperfections, and everything. And not only do you accept them, but do they accept you, but you accept them also. And you're willing to look beyond, look beyond whatever flaws there are.
Yeah. I think, the Brother Chip's point about, I think it's good. I put you there. That being in the will of God is a good space, making sure that person is in the will of God is a good space. But also remember that no one comes to you ready for you completely. Mm-hmm. That the idea of someone being specifically crafted, created for you, those things happen over time. Right. When we first, becoming one is just that, it's a becoming. Yeah. And so I do think that if you are looking for a fit to happen immediately, if you're looking for a fit of the one immediately, I think that's going to get you way off target. You will never find anyone.
Yeah.
Because the Bible tells us that it's a becoming one, that we're becoming one. Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. We're becoming one. So there is no just one person that's going to automatically or initially fit you as the one, the made image for you.
Yeah, you my rib.
Okay. Yeah, there is a becoming that must happen. Oh, yes.
There, when the Bible talks about, Eve was made from Adam's rib, but that was if you look at doctors and a doctor remove a piece, that's some surgical operation that happens. And so when you find that rib, that's some surgical operation it takes to put that rib back together again.
Yeah, this is that was supernatural. What God did was supernatural. And I think we also have to be very careful with that.
Yes.
Okay? That we're going to take something supernatural that happened, right? Because Adam and Eve came out mature people.
Yes.
They came out, mature, created by God people.
Yeah.
We have to take those supernatural things and make sure that we're putting them in the right context.
That's right. That's right.
Put them in the right context. Ooh. That the becoming one happens over time.
Over time.
And
that's some surgical stuff.
Oh yes,
that's
some supernatural
surgical one, expertise.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it's a becoming.
It's a becoming.
All right, our next question.
Okay.
What if your parents or loved ones don't agree with the person you are courting? Ooh. What if your parents or loved ones don't agree with the person So I'll speak from my perspective right quick. When I was first courting Pastor Willie and we were moving towards dating, it was really important for me, for my grandmother and my mother to, not only meet Pastor Willie, but also my spiritual father as well. It was important for those three people in my life to have influence over the decision I was making because they know me. And their perspective carried weight with me. And so I do think that there has to be, your parents, your grandparents, your loved ones, someone that people who are spiritual, but also people who know you that can help, say things about the person that you may not see. Mm-hmm. And so when I brought Pastor Willie to my spiritual dad, I was like, look, if you say he a joker, run away, I'm running away because I trusted my spiritual dad. I had a relationship with him. So I do think that there should be someone in your life that is able to see beyond your feelings, your fuzzies, and articulate to you if you're ready for marriage. And then also, if that person a joker or whatever, tell me what you see in the spirit. I'm serious. What you see? He gonna be a good father, a good husband. What you saying? So I think that's important.
Yeah, it's important, but also I think it's also important to say that sometimes your parents or loved ones have some selfish reasons why they might not be liking your person, especially if it looks like things are going too fast or your demeanor has changed. Who you are has changed to somebody that they don't recognize anymore. And as I said before, sometimes it's not about that other person that you're dating. Sometimes the telltale sign is about who you have became in your dating season, in this relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe the relationship have turned you to be a callous person,
yeah,
or somebody that don't care about some of the things that they cared about before.
Yeah.
You had an ambition to get your master's degree,
yeah,
but now all of a sudden this guy or girl come around,
yeah,
and all of a sudden all of your energy is put towards her or him,
yeah,
and you have left all of your ambitions behind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when people say stuff like, or they say or may say or lead to things like, oh, you have changed, or since you met them, or you don't do this anymore, you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's more of an indication of who you have become versus who this person is. And goes back to my last thing about you have changed. You have allowed this relationship to change the core of who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, you was at Dating God's Way, so you was at church all the time, but now you're dating this person. Now you can't find time for the Lord. Hey, but we have known that to happen. We have seen that to happen.
Sure.
And so we saw where, you know what, maybe this relationship or a relationship for you, period, is not good for you at this time. Sometimes it's not about the person.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about, everybody doesn't handle relationships in a healthy way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say in a right or wrong way. I'm going to say in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Sometimes relationships pull people to a different direction.
Yeah.
Almost as if that they have lived all this life just to get in the relationship.
Yeah.
And so so it's not per se sometimes maybe it's not about the person that they're courting, but it's about who you have became
while in the relationship. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And some things you need to hear, even if it's negative. Some things you need to hear about yourself, the person, all of that. Some people think that that's a negative thing to sometimes get constructive feedback or negative feedback about yourself or the person that you're dating. But that is a good thing. I remember my Pastor Will talked about the advice his mom gave him when me and him, started dating. All of that was good stuff. It wasn't looking at it like, oh, we need to protect our relationship. No, sometimes you need to listen to the people that are around you.
My mom used to say this thing. She still do. She said, don't you mess that girl life up. I ain't mess your life up, did I?
No.
Amen. Bless the Lord. Amen. I did good, did I?
You did good. So
let's see. When did you talk about what church you will be attending?
In the dating stage, should you be trying to go to the same church? When should you start discussing a church home together?
Oh, this is so funny. When I started dating, me and Pastor E, we both come out of Pentecostal churches, right?
Yes.
But Pastor E church, even though I was a musician, the Pastor E church, oh man, they have the band, they had it all. I mean, and I was like, man, Pastor E, I think I should come to your church. She wasn't even pastor. I ain't even say Pastor E. I told her, Abby, I said, Abby, I want to, I'll join your church. We come out there and we'll go to the church in Baltimore. And then I
want to say this, okay. So I went to a prophetic fivefold, ministry church, all of that. Right. And when we started having the discussion about this,
and let me say this, an intentional fivefold.
Yes. A very intentional fivefold church. Right. I grew there. I matured there. I learned a lot there. But I also went there when I was young. So I was young in age, not just young as a believer, but I was young in age. Okay. And so when we started to talk about what church we would be attending was definitely in the stage when we were getting closer to marriage. Because I do think that there is a caution in while you're dating, trying to shift things to the same church. Okay. For a lot of different reasons. A few different reasons is in the dating stage, you're still trying to figure each other out. Right. And so inviting a potential to your church and or going to church with them is fine, but not having the conversation in a way of like, we're going to start going to the same church together so that we can be together or so that we can be more together. That's the wrong perspective on that. So I think that inviting, a potential to your church and them saying for themselves, yes, I would, I'd like to join the ministry or whatever. It's their decision. That's one thing. But if it's being born out of a conversation that you two are having together in your dating relationship of we should go to the same church so that we sit under the same this, that, and the other, I think that becomes more of a danger. And so what happened with me and Pastor Will, just, our example is, he was a musician at his church, and I really, one of the reasons why I was anti him coming to my church was I know I needed to leave my church. I was a young lady there. It was a lot of history there, and I needed to start over. Period. And it was not a good place to bring us into as an us.
She didn't want me to start bringing my knife to church.
Oh, Pastor Will.
I was saved. I just wasn't all the way saved.
Pastor Will, you were all the way saved. Stop it. You were. So anyway, I had history at my old church. It was good for us to start over.
My daddy taught me how to flick a knife out real fast. So,
y'all don't listen to Pastor Will. Don't listen to Pastor Will, y'all. It was it was good for us to start over, but we started discussing it as a conversation when we got close to our marriage day, when we knew we were engaged and getting married in real life. That's when we started having the conversation. And I think that's a healthy place to have the conversation. Yes, not too much too soon. Not too much too soon. Inviting someone to your church is one thing. Talking about going to the same church because y'all trying to be together is something different.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
All right. How we answered your question? All right.
Okay.
Introduction to parents or spiritual parents. When is it a good time?
Soon. Soon. Early on.
Yeah.
Early on. I mean, even the first date. Even the first date, have them come pick you up from your parents' house. Or have them visit your spiritual parents early on.
Yeah.
Early on.
Say immediately.
Immediately, yeah. Get some insight early on.
Especially if, quite a few people on this broadcast tonight are our, spiritual sons and daughters. And I think, one of the key reasons why you want to have early on introduction is, you want to see what they see, and that's why for me, it was important for Pastor Will to meet my spiritual family.
Yeah.
Right. I needed to know if people saw anything that I did not see.
Yeah.
Right.
Here.
Just because you in the spirit and all that don't mean you might miss something. Right. You might miss something. You might have the fuzzies going on. Okay. The emotional fuzzies getting away. You hearing God. Okay.
Got the bubblies.
Got the bubblies. You felt something when they walked in the room. So I think it is key to be around other people that hear God. Because while we know that there isn't just one, there is someone that God has for you. There may be some ones, and getting into helping someone to hear God with you.
Yeah.
Is important.
It's important.
It's
important. Remember, your parents or spiritual parents have been through some things.
Yeah.
They have been through some things, and they have some awareness that you might not have, as you are going through your experience.
It's a safeguard.
It's a safeguard.
Yeah.
They have some discernment in the area of not only in relationships, but they have some discernment in the area of people. They have people. They have people discernment.
Yeah.
And so so we don't want to cheapen their value with hiding people. I go back to Adam and Eve. When Adam and Eve, the first thing they did when they committed the sin is that they went hiding.
Yeah.
Don't hide people out. And then all of a sudden you sprout people up, hey, this is my spouse,
Yeah. And I think that's great what Yasmin is saying. She said, I need clarity and knowledge about that person early on. It will help you realize if that person is worth investing your time in.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes that hiding comes because we don't want to see. They learn their lesson. I need to learn mine too. And to me, that's just a, unwise way to go about it.
And remember, we're talking about parents and spiritual parents here. I'm not talking about any other kind of relationship.
Yep, just parents and spiritual parents. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
What would you tell your younger selves now about courting, waiting, marriage, with what you have learned so far?
That's the wrong question to ask me. I don't talk to my younger self.
He does not talk to his younger self. I would say this though. Let me say this. Let me put this question into context.
Okay.
Because Pastor Will has a problem with that. Let me put this in context. I think that, one of the things that one of the reason why we have Dating God's Way is to share some of the things that, not just the things that we got right, but some of the things we got wrong. Mm-hmm. And I do think that, I was 21, almost 22 when we got married. I got married 1 week before I turned 22. And so I definitely, I definitely can see where some of the things that I've learned so far about the courting stage is, I do think that even though me and Pastor Willie spent time at church together, we did all these things together, we could have done a lot better with accountability. That is one area where we, kerfluckled. We dropped the ball in that accountability stage. So we definitely could have been more accountable. I think it would have saved us some, of our early first year drama with having some more accountability. I think that accountability was one of the balls that we really dropped.
Yeah, I say, what I wish I had earlier on was probably somebody that took this kind of time with me.
Yeah.
Somebody
an
intentional investment.
Yeah.
Somebody that would have took this kind of time with me to help me maneuver through relationships. And not that I didn't have these kind of people in my life. I didn't know how to use the people that was in my life to speak to me in this kind of setting.
Yeah.
And then there was no internet back then. Woo. But to speak to me, there was no not
dial-up.
There was no
dial-up.
There was I had it, but nobody else had it.
Right. I had it. Dial-up.
So early on, I just wish that, I had more people in my life that could speak to me in this kind of manner here. And because it left everything up to the wisdom that I gotten over the years. But I thought about this the other night. I'm gonna say this carefully, but I'll say it like this. I have learned more from my mistakes than I have from perfection. I have learned more from my mistakes than I have from being perfect. And I'll say it like this because it's through my mistakes where precision and fine tuning came in to bring me to a level of some type of perfection. However, those mistakes used later on, they weren't mistakes. They was just things done at the wrong timing. But when those same mistakes are done at the right timing, those things are they're no longer mistakes. They are actually solutions. Mm-hmm. They are the right answers. Uh-huh. But those things that I did in the wrong timing happen to be mistakes. So I said all that to say nothing. I said
he said all that to say that, if he would have utilized wisdom,
yes,
then he wouldn't have to learn from so many mistakes.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And because of grace, those mistakes work together for his good.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Preach it up,
because
Pastor.
Of grace.
Woo.
But we also know, grace don't always abound. So we definitely not going to depend on that.
See why I married you?
We're going to stick with wisdom.
You did that.
We're going to stick with wisdom.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You make my nothing sound like something. Get out of here. Hey, my rib.
Oh, Pastor Will, with that tonight. Okay, next question. Should believers use online dating to meet people? Here we are. We with this one tonight. Should believers use online dating to meet people? I started off. I think that. So first of all, we in COVID. That's number one right now. But I do think that I think online dating with the right parameters, just like in-person dating, just like meeting people in person, needs a level of boundaries and wisdom. And I don't think that there is a problem with online dating. Believe it or not, guys, I've been married for 20 years this year. We will be 20 years old this year. And I did online dating. Believe it or not. Can y'all believe that? Actually met somebody online before. And so I do think that there is a wisdom, and
it wasn't me.
It wasn't Pastor Will. I met him in person. But I do think that there is a wisdom and a boundary in just meeting people, meeting like-minded people, Christian people. I think, some of those people can be online. I think that is not the caution is not necessarily that they're online. The caution more so is, relationally making sure you do all the same things you would do for a person in person. Accountability, meeting your people, all that stuff still has to be the same. You cannot hide behind computers. The accountability has to be the same. The meeting the people have to be the same. All of the same rules have to apply, or shouldn't be done.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Meeting people, you're going to meet people anywhere. You're going to meet them in the grocery store, in the streets, correct, online, anywhere. It's not about where you meet people. It's about all the things that Pastor E said.
Now, let me tell y'all something about Pastor E. This time, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to get it on out there. I have always been an investigator. So when I met people online, I wanted to see, were they really who they said they were? I didn't take those things on face value. Even when I met a person in person, I wanted to see what I could find out about that person. You have the whole internet. And so I do think that there is a level of wisdom, too, that you use in, there are a lot of sites. Let me say it this way. Especially in the state of Maryland, where you can find out things about people. Is this person a criminal? Is this person a sex offender? Hey, I'm just going to get real practical for a minute. Right? Yes. Yeah. Daughter definitely got that. An investigation. Right. And so there are certain things that I look into. Right. I still look into just to make sure that I'm being safe as well. Yeah. So I do think you have to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Online, in person. I think it's important.
It's
know who you are talking to, and don't wait till you start getting serious. Do some initial look up. Yeah. And if you're in this community, you got Dignitary, you got myself, we will help you. The websites, we'll send them to you.
Yeah, I think online anywhere is everywhere else to me. I don't really have an opinion. I just say, as an IT person, you just have to be careful of, and online, people can put a persona in front of you.
Yeah.
That's really not displaying the total of who they are in the background, if it's them anyway. So, so I just say, have your spiritual guards up when you're online.
Yeah, I missed one of your questions. Sorry about that. So if you never really had guy friends as a believer, how do you just be a friend? This is a great question. Come on through, Yvette. Come on through.
What up, Larry, my brother?
Hey there, Larry. Hey there. So look, I think this is a essential question because I do... Learning how to be friends is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's a big deal as a believer to learn how to maintain or have a friendship. The only thing that I think that our saving grace has been friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. It has been our friendship that's really helped us endure.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a great question about, how do you just be friends, Pastor Will? How do you make sure you don't go too fast?
you know, especially if this is your first, or you never had any guy friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now okay. Let me say. Let me say this as a guy.
Help us.
You know, as a guy that hasn't had many female friends, you know, growing up, it was almost. I heard this kind of raunchy comedian tell this kind of raunchy joke about how, you know, guys can't have female friends because female friends essentially they all become the emergency button or the emergency glass thing, where you know you know in time of need you smash the emergency button, and that's not really a friend. That's not. For someone that hasn't had many guy friends, you know, I'm almost sure, you know, any guy friend that come up is looked at as potential, and that's what you have to guard yourself against.
Guard yourself against
is the mindset of that every guy friend or every girlfriend is potential.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And you have to guard yourself against that, because you're going to have to guard yourself against this next. Is that, you know, when you have somebody in your heart that could be potential,
yeah,
you tend to rush things with them to see if it is, and what it does, it causes you to lose a really good, what's supposed to have been a friend only. Right?
Yeah.
Some people come into your lives as friends only.
Yes. Yes.
However, we get the wires confused, or we get the wires crossed and put them in the space of boyfriend or girlfriend when they shouldn't have been in that space.
Yeah. And
so you have to guard yourself against that.
Yeah. I think, you know, one good thing you're saying about that too is like, one of the ways in which I think we both guarded ourselves, you know, we went quick. We were quick. Whoop, we was a quick.
I was ready. I could say I was, even though I said I wasn't ready, I was ready.
Yeah. You know, the thing that I think helped with the friendship part of it was, you know, when Pastor Willie said, like, you know, he didn't want to be married, he didn't want to date, he didn't want to whatever, that didn't end our friendship. And I think that's one way in which, you know, in which you are having a friend is, do you get cross if that person is like, I don't think I want to be with you, I ain't ready to get married. I mean, that's essentially what he was telling me. Like, he didn't think I was a potential or whatever. And I was like, cool, right? Even though he was a great person, there was nothing wrong with him. But at that moment, we was just creating a friendship. And so when he told me that he didn't want to date, he didn't want to be married, he didn't want to date me.
No, I didn't say I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did not say that.
Females in this audience today, if you are creating a friendship with somebody and they tell you that they don't want to be married, okay, what do you surmise from that?
I didn't want to be married.
I surmise from that it wasn't a possibility. That's what he was communicating to me, that we weren't a possibility. And so I was cool with then just being friends. And I would say that's also a place to watch out for, guys and girls.
Yeah.
You know, is that when you start making your intentions on either aspect.
But you stayed my friend though, even though I said that.
I stayed your friend because I was in it for friendship.
Yeah, you didn't leave me hanging.
I was in it for friendship.
I think you should say that though.
I've said that.
Yeah, don't leave me hanging.
Don't
if they say they don't want to marry right now, or they don't, you know, they just want to be friends or whatever, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's not necessarily a red flag.
It's not. I didn't say it was a red flag. I said that it's something that you have to be careful of.
Yes.
Because you could be closing the door on what could be.
Sure.
So I think that what becoming friends and being friends is, you don't care either way. And I didn't. At that point, I was like, look, he ain't the only dude out here. At the end of the day, if he don't want to be married, he don't want to be gathered, whatever. We was just in first stage anyway. So it was good to go. But I do think that we have to be careful in making definites like that. Oh, I know they not the one because whatever.
And then over time, God start revealing stuff, and you be like, oh, okay, hey, right? And so it is a caution to start to speak from a place of this can never be the one. You know, I never want to be this, that. I mean, I think it's a caution.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say this to my guys.
God had a lot of grace on Pastor Will.
I just want to say this to my guys out there. Y'all, marriage ain't bad. Marriage is good. And when God highlights the one, shows you who she is, or you have the thoughts of this is the young lady that I want to marry, pursue it, go for it, do it now. You don't have to wait. And there's going to be some process in there. There's going to be a process of waiting in there. But when you have your heart set and your heart is right, don't be afraid.
But let's get into it right quick, Pastor Will, because I think this brings up a different point, right? Okay. We were at that moment content with being friends. I wasn't tripping off of you. Frankly, I had a lot of confidence, so I wasn't tripping off of he didn't want to be together, he didn't want to get married. But from that perspective, though, what do you say? And what you just said about when there's the one that sometimes the one takes time. Like there's a spiritual maturity, there's a seeing for yourself, there's things that happen in you that allow you to see that person, because sometimes there are things that there are blocks in us that guard us from knowing the one, or guard us from being open to getting to know someone as a friend on a deeper level.
Then you have to have that discussion. You have to have that discussion about marriage and coupling up, and you have to be real and say, I want to marry you, but right now there are some things that needs to be corrected in my life, and not only in my life but in my spirit, that the Lord has to correct some things in my spirit before we marry, because I don't want this stuff to be married to you. And,
hey,
and I believe when you start talking like that, especially to her, not only will you become getting corrected, but she will make sure that there is every opportunity available for you to help get those things corrected. She'll point you to different men's groups or different pastors. Not saying you have to go to every church she points you to, but she will begin to invest in your deliverance. She will begin to invest in your healing.
Absolutely.
And so I think you just have to have that conversation.
Yes, you're talking good now. Yeah. So that's how we got married. That's what happened. We started having them conversations.
Start having those conversations.
We started having those conversations as friends.
We started
having those conversations as friends, and then we saw something more.
Yeah.
We saw something more over time.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself the opportunity to see something more.
Yeah.
Give yourself the opportunity to be open to God showing you something more, right? Because what I find is that I see a lot of singles that have a lot of parameters, and I'm gonna tell y'all gonna miss it. Y'all gonna miss God's opportunity to illuminate something to you, that someone he could have for you, because you got so many boundaries and parameters.
Yeah.
Take them guards down.
Yeah.
Only have the guards up that God puts up. Right? Have your heart can be guarded, as the Bible tells us to do, but make sure you're not fighting off what is to come by having so many shut doors. Right? Give you an opportunity to see something more. We have another question in the inbox. Okay. So Christian courting, how do you know when you're ready or the person is ready to go to the stage of courting? Christian courting. So from our perspective, Christians don't date. They don't date like friends with benefits or nothing crazy like that. Christians aren't doing a lot of frivolous dating, because frivolous dating opens the door for more activity. But we do believe that there's a stage that can be called courting. Christian courting. And Christian courting is about, when we're ready to start talking about the next phase of our relationship, going from friendship to potentially getting married, courting. Yeah. So somebody says, how do you know you're ready? How do you know when they're ready? I just want to explain the language.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are stages, right? There are steps, first you friends and you can be friends with anybody and everybody. You can friend everybody. But
I did.
But then after that, friendship has progressed to a place of exclusivity. Where now that, okay, now I can't talk to all my other friends the same way that I talk to you, right?
Here we are.
Right. They, our conversations have now become a little bit more, our conversation has become a little bit more intimate.
Yeah.
And they have become a little bit more specific and futuristic.
Yeah.
When I say futuristic, that means that they have future in them now.
Yeah, we're talking about future.
Yeah, we have some future, we're talking about future together.
Yeah.
So what happens with those friends is that now I start to distance myself from some of those from many of those friends, right? If I'm serious about you, now I have to distance myself even from the friends that I felt close to, right?
Of the same,
and now I'm in the courting stages now.
Yeah.
So that courting stage means, but that courting stage means is that I'm blocking things off so that you and I can really start to know each other.
Yes. So going from that first stage, Pastor Will, to that courting stage means that we are now making a different distinction on who we are to each other.
Yeah.
And I think when you are ready, I think has a lot to do with when you are ready.
Yeah.
Right. And so as Pastor Willie talked about, those things that may be in your spirit, those things that may be hindering you from connecting with another person in a healthy way. All of those things that could be getting in the way of that. Those are some of the things that you want to deal with to make sure that you are ready to be open to someone else and share with them in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Right. But I also think, are they ready is the same dynamic. Absolutely. Are they talking to you in a way where they're ready to be exclusive? Are they ready to give up some of those close friends and do that distancing? Are they ready for that? Are they willing to do that?
Yeah, because I mean, giving up friends for the sake of courting and relationships, that's probably one of the after proposing marriage, even cutting off friends was probably one of the toughest things to do, even though it had to be done. And, I may not have gone about it the right way, honestly, because I mean, I just, there was like, man, we'll get married. And this was, guy friends and female friends. And I was like, this is what I got to do. I just felt like this is what I had to do. For one thing, to help Ebony feel safe, to help Ebony feel safe, knowing that, that I would put down things for her, and then for the second thing is that for me, knowing that I will put down things for her, I had to know that I had that capability to do that within my own self.
Because the truth is, me and Pastor Willie had a lot of friends of opposite sex. We both did. And so that was something that we both needed to do to, show that we not only that we're going to the next level, but that we're ready to go to the next level. And so, we had to make those distinctions. That was important. That was an important part of it.
Yeah. So, back in my day, it
was easy for me too, Mom Vanessa. Mom Vanessa, for her, it was it was hard for him. It was easy for me.
Back in those days, but I think I was on my like second or third cell phone, only my second or third, probably just my second one. So back in those days, you know, the little black book was the big thing. You know, you every guy had to have a little black book or a big black book that you got from when the school sell the book at the book club. And they sell you the black address book.
Go ahead. Sell your age tonight now. Here now.
With the gold print, with the little tabs on the side, with the ABs, with an alphabetical order. So you hit the tab to go to.
They don't know what you're talking about.
Mama Vanessa got me. Mama Vanessa got me.
Yeah, these millennial dollars, you talking about the way
now. I think I went to my mom's house. I think I saw my black book around there somewhere too.
Child.
Black. Lord.
Oh. Go ahead. Yes.
I said the black book
got to go. I mean, got to go, Mama Vanessa. The black book got to go. Got to go. Yeah, and I don't know if Pastor Will remember this, but he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was just my friend from around the way, and this, that, we grew up together, and this, that, and the other." I'm gonna tell y'all, Pastor, he was just looking like that. Got to go. Got to go. I don't care where she came from. She got to what? Go. Woo! Okay, yeah, so yeah. We getting out of control. Here you go. I'm gonna bring it back together.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Dating God's way.
Dating God's way after dark. Now.
Okay.
Now, yeah. So
any more questions?
I don't think we have any more questions tonight. Awesome. I think it's been a great discussion. Open mic tonight. Yes, very thoughtful questions. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, and I think anything from around the way. Go ahead. Let me put that up there. Oh, wait a minute. I said ha. Anything from around the way. Got to go. Go ahead. Love it. Yes. Got to. We got the amen corner on. Got to go.
Y'all making me sweat up in here. Y'all making me sweat.
Woo. Yes. Had to go. Yeah. Thank y'all for joining tonight. I think we got some great lessons from tonight about having yes. I think we had some great lessons tonight about making sure that we are having that accountability around us, introducing to spiritual parents, to parents. What if your parents or loved ones don't agree? I think we had some great questions tonight. And I think one of the big takeaways that I have on tonight is make sure that you're developing healthy friendships with the opposite sex.
Yeah, that's
because if the person is the only one, the first one, this one, that one, it will be hard for you maybe to create some of those boundaries around not just jumping straight into kissing, not just jumping straight into the bed, not just jumping straight into we together all the time, just me and you. It will be hard to do that if you have not learned to build healthy opposite sex relationships where there is no innuendo going on, there is no prospecting going on. We are just good friends that, share in our relationship with each other and our relationship with God. That is the key. Dating God's way. Yes. Good job. Damn. Oh boy. You see me, Pastor Will. You gotta do what you got.
I can't lift this shoulder real good.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
The shoulder got a little bursitis in it.
Okay. Yeah. We'll pray them up out of there. Oh yes. Love you guys. Thanks for joining tonight. It was a great great show tonight. Open mic.
Yeah, we came on a little later, but maybe the 9 o'clock hour maybe might be on.
No.
Okay.
No.
Cause we.
No. Especially you gotta after this, I gotta go back to work.
Oh,
so
wow.
No. Gotta get the DNS working. No. Yeah. So we'll see y'all again next week.
Love you guys.
In the 8 o'clock hour. Have a good one, guys.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
You're welcome. Great discussion, a lot of fun and truth. Thanks. This was amazing. Yes, thank you. Awesome.